Good morning, people of Earth and beyond. You are tuning in to WMSC 90.3 Upper Montclair. My name is Jaslyn, and my co-host slash sidekick is
My name is Tara, and my skin is so dry right now. That's the intro. That's what it is.
yeah,
It's that type of cold. You know what I mean?
that's our superhero. And
It's a superhero.
today we have a
It's super
very, very
dry.
super dry, extra dry. Now, Tara, tell them what we got in store from. What do we got today?
Speaking of weather, we are talking about what's on deck for the Garden State. We're talking about what New Jersey school leaders are planning to do about standardized testing going forward. We're talking about one of those really weird stories that sounds like it's in a movie about a plane landing somewhere crazy. Possibly the worst Louis Vuitton sweater of all time, and what happens when a lawyer enters a Zoom call dressed as a cat. All that and more on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, sir. That's exactly what it is. Now, before we get into, the crazy stories of the day, we need a little bit of a little sprinkle of the news, don't we?
Mm-hmm.
Now welcoming my other sidekick, our wonderful newscaster, Sabrina. Sabrina, let us know what's going on.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
So,
morning.
national news, according to the New York Times, investigators looking into the helicopter crash that killed Kobe Bryant have found the pilot to be at fault. Evidence suggested that the pilot, Aris Zabayan, had made the decision to fly at excessive speeds in bad weather conditions. Investigators say the pilot became disoriented in the clouds and tried to punch up out of the clouds, but instead he was turning left. So next in New Jersey news, another Chick-fil-A is opening in Burlington County. Cinnaminson Township entered into an agreement on Friday, February 1st, to develop a new franchise. Eric Schuber, Township Administrator, says that local leaders are committed to bringing the fast casual restaurant to the Route 130 business corridor in the near future. And in local news, another winter storm is on the way. Weather experts, according to NJ.com, predict that it will come in waves starting Wednesday night into Thursday morning and then start again from Thursday night into Friday morning. Upper Montclair can expect around half an inch, and parts of South Jersey are expecting 2 to 3. And for the weather today, grab those winter coats. The high today will be 33 degrees with a low of 20, and the sunset will be around 5:26 p.m.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Uh, It's wild. We're gonna talk more about the weather in a minute, but first off, we have sports by Matt, my favorite sports contributor.
Good
What
morning.
is up? What you got?
So, in the NFL, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were winners of the big game on Sunday. And did you know how they plan to celebrate it? With a boat parade. And I mean, why not? That sounds awesome. And if I was in the Tampa Bay area, I would definitely try to attend. On the other side of the big game was superstar quarterback Patrick Mahomes. And he will not be going on this boat parade, but instead he's going to have surgery on his foot to fix turf toe, which he played with in the big game. In the MLB, the league is updating their code of conduct pertaining to harassment and discrimination as an effect from the allegations surrounding ex-GM for the Mets, Jared Porter, and currently suspended LA Angels pitching coach Mickey Callaway. Also, some news pertaining to the MLB season. The players will not be required to get the COVID-19 vaccine under the new protocol agreement. In the NBA, the Nets played at the Detroit Pistons last night without Kevin Durant and lost 122 to 111. This Brooklyn Nets team is quite confusing and so hard to figure out because when they play against teams that aren't so good, it seems like they're losing. But when they're matched up with teams that are really good, it's like they blow them out of the water. The Knicks got another try at the Miami Heat last night and lost a tough one, 98 to 96 by 2 points. It was a tough one. And then in the NHL, the Rangers will be taking on the Boston Bruins tonight. Should be a good one to watch. And today in sports history, in 1992, Bonnie Blair, a speed skater, won the first gold medal for the United States in the Olympics. We'll send it back to you guys.
I'm gonna be looking at that boat parade with Tom Brady in it, like a game of not Minesweeper. what is it, Battleship?
Yeah,
You're trying to sink them, and you just like doop, doop, doop.
G4.
Yeah, got that one for Tom Brady.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
Matt, like we say, Stephen A. Smith, who? We don't know him.
Whomst.
Shannon Sharp, whom? It's
Whomst.
Matt all the
It
way.
is 100%. Matt is our favorite. Thank you so much.
Now, unlike Tampa Bay, unfortunately, it's cold in here. What's the weather like in your neck of the woods, Tara?
Right now, it's still kind of gray out. I can't really see the sun. Looks like it's about 21 degrees, and I'm one town over from Montclair, so more or less the same as Montclair State. High of 35, barely above freezing. Low of 24, and we're not predicting weather till later. We'll get into that in a minute. How about by you?
Essentially, now those of you who don't know where Montclair State is located, it's on a hill. So if it's 35 degrees on ground level, it's like 3.5 degrees at the top. Okay?
This is true, and then the wind starts, and it's just like I can't feel
awful.
anything.
So thankful that I can sit inside. I'm inside. It's moderately room temperature, so everything is good. But yeah, it's cold. It's cold in here.
It is.
Yeah.
But today, that's kind of something I wanted to talk about was whether I got this story from NJ.com. No, I'm not buying a subscription to NJ.com. Stop asking me. New Jersey weather. New winter storm could bring 3 to 6 inches of snow to parts of the state. Our active weather pattern, from NewJersey.com, continues to churn out more winter storms, with a new one expected to impact New Jersey during the next 3 days and potentially a second one looming this upcoming weekend, forecasters said Tuesday afternoon. Next winter storm is likely to arrive in 2 waves. First from Wednesday night, which is tonight, into Thursday morning, and the second from Thursday night into Friday morning, says the National Weather Service. So, one good trend, if you happen to be sick of all the snow, is that the brunt of it will be a little farther south. So, you people in South Jersey, you could deal. But up here, it looks like it's not gonna be. It's not gonna be too bad like the past couple ones we've seen where it's insane.
I mean, and also some great news. Shovel sales are going to go up, and so is manual labor. So, like, if you didn't go to the gym for like the past week and a half, this counts. It
absolutely counts.
Your neighborhood boys who are just bad, can now make some money. So there's great things happening all around.
There is. It's pretty and it kills bugs. So I enjoy the snow. We don't enjoy bugs in the summer. You're trying to hang out and stuff, and just like every 2 seconds.
It's like I like snow, but I just like looking at it. Like if I have to go outside and start shoveling it, it's not as fun anymore.
I don't mind going out in it. The only thing that bugs me is the ice when it starts to like freeze up.
Ice, baby.
That bugs me too. That bothers me in a deep level as well.
It's like, it looks cute till you touch it. Then it's like, oh, it's frozen solid.
I can't say the same about
cold.
You said what?
What's up?
I like the snow, but I hate the cold.
Right? Like, couldn't it be like 50 degrees and snowing? But then that wouldn't make any sense.
Right. Then the laws of physics would have we would have to have a very different conversation about why it's snowing and it's 50 degrees.
Very different conversation.
I remember actually this year I've been driving a lot with no particular aim because of the pandemic, and there's not really anywhere I could go. So I've been driving a lot, just like going as far as I can and then turning around and going back. I saw fake snow for the first time this year.
Wow, really?
Like with from like the snow machines.
Oh.
Because Mountain Creek, they have the ski resort, and this is like before this in like December and stuff, which is funny because now everything is covered. But in like the middle of their ski season, they have, it's cold, but there was no snow. So they have like the snow machines there. And it was wild because like you're just driving through, and then like it's pretty countryside up there, it's like not that dense. But then you go from just being like regular forest to like perfect winter scene, like just in the middle of it. and it's wild. But now I guess they don't need that right now. Everything's covered.
That's hilarious because you said you seen fake snow for the first time, but like somebody coming up from like who's lived in Florida their whole life, like they just begged to see real snow, and I just thought it was funny. Like a little kid, like I want to see the real snow. I want to see the real snow, and I feel like that's Tara. Like I want to see the fake snow. I want to see the fake snow.
Not even. It was just like it wasn't even that. It was just like I was, like driving or whatever, and I'm like, all right, we'll find Mountain Creek, whatever. There's signs, and I have a car. I can make this happen. And it just like ended up there. And I was just like, look at that. But now it's funny because it's February and everything is covered.
Blanketed.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind it though, but it's just me.
Well, speaking of our lovely Garden State, New Jersey, according to NJ.com as well, New Jersey school leaders pushed the state to cancel standardized testing. Now, if you guys are my age, you remember a lot of us having to take a little test. I don't know if I could say the name because of reasons, but we all had to take this one exam that canceled out the other one. I hated standardized testing. I'm not even bad at taking tests, but I hated it. I felt like but we're going to get into that in a second. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
So according to the article, New Jersey should seek a federal waiver for all standardized testing this spring to avoid exams that will only tell educators what they already know. Students have suffered learning loss in the pandemic, school leaders told a panel of state lawmakers on Tuesday. Like I said, and this article just kind of goes into how the pandemic has kind of stifled a lot of students' learning. This was a statement made by the Millborough superintendent, Christine Burton. She says, quote, "Isn't it obvious that there is going to be a delay in what they've been able to learn?" She also says, quote, "Doesn't standardized testing students to reveal the obvious pose and even greater detriment to students' mental health." I'm glad that she's such a high position and she understands this because oftentimes when it comes to standardized testing, that also banks on teachers' pay, right? So those of you who didn't know, now you know. If their students don't do well, or if a school in general doesn't do well, they don't get funding. And if we give these students, these kids, standardized exams, like some master's programs, I'm talking higher education programs, aren't forcing undergrad students to take the GREs and things like that anymore because they know, like, listen, you guys haven't been like in regular school in over a year. And yeah, we know that. So
even like before that too, like how many colleges are like waiving standardized tests as part of the admissions process? Yeah, before the pandemic.
Yeah, like nothing to do with exactly like Tara said, nothing to even do with the pandemic. It's just like like I said, I've never really been bad at taking tests. Like it's been okay, but there's some people who literally like they will know all the material, but when it comes to an exam, it's like they bomb it. I'll tell you guys a little story about myself. I'm gonna embarrass myself. Hi, mom and dad. When I was in kindergarten, I had to take ESL, which is English as a second language, and I had to take I forgot what they called it, but it was like a remedial class, right? This is when I was in the first grade. My parents were so confused because like I was always a really good student. So they're like, we don't understand why she's in. And the thing is, I was born and raised in the States, right? My parents are immigrants. I was born and raised in the States. So English is my first language. So they were like, what is going on? My dad was so mad. He was like, they're not telling me anything. And come to find out, they look at my math results, right? This is embarrassing, but it's okay. They look at my math results and I got all the right answers, but I put them in the wrong places because I was freaking out. That was my first time ever taking a test like that. And they ended up because I did the remedial class, like I was acing everything. They're like, yeah, she does not need to be in here. No disrespect. Sometimes you need it, right? But just for me personally, I didn't need it. And to this day, my parents always tell that as like a funny story. But I just kind of say that to say, like, imagine, what's it called? Imagine you are 6 years old. This is the first time you're taking, like, imagine taking 6, now you're 16, or now you're 26, right? You're trying to go to the next step in your life. And it's like, yeah, everything's screwed up because you flunked the test.
Right.
You can't get into school because you flunked the test.
Yeah, and like all that's even more magnified now because of the pandemic. Like everybody's dealing with different
Different
anxieties
stuff.
and problems. School is nowhere near like functioning at its I'm trying to think of the right word. Like its peak.
Full capacity.
Yeah, exactly.
I got you, Taryn. You know,
I got
dictionary.
you. And like it's like nobody is having an easy run of this. Even like the best and like quote unquote smartest students are not having an easy time with this because nobody is equipped to deal with something like this. Everybody is
Nobody.
dealing through this in a different way, you know?
Exactly.
And it's just stupid. My take though is I thought standardized tests were stupid from the beginning.
From the jump, I always thought, because it's like, that's stupid, you know, no disrespect to one of our former presidents, but that whole No Child Left Behind, it did more bad than good. If
Yeah.
somebody is not equipped to move on, they shouldn't move on. And it's not for their harm, it's for their benefit. If somebody's not performing, then we go into how school is set up and how everybody doesn't learn one way. And child, you'll have me on here for days.
But you're right. You're totally right. Like it's one of those things where like as soon as you start talking about it, you start getting into stuff about like the way school is set up in this country that's just like it doesn't add up. Like how are you going to have a standardized test? Show me a standardized student.
Exactly.
Like show me a standard issue human being.
And then we'll talk. When you can show me that, then we'll talk about the standardized testing.
Right. It's wild to me that this is even still like a thing. I'm glad a lot of colleges before the pandemic were starting to ditch it, or like ditch it as a requirement, but it's, you know, I can't see any good reason during the pandemic to keep these as, you know, like the like the standard at all.
Exactly.
Tests just like don't test what you're learning. They just test how well you can like memorize things, regurgitate that information, but you might not have learned it.
Exactly. And some people can't regurgitate information like that.
It's right. Like I'm a horrible test taker. But like you give me an essay, I could do it. But like tests on like, you know, specific memorization stuff, I'm not good at that.
And there's nothing wrong with, you're not dumber or smarter than the next person who can't do that. It's like sometimes people could just be like, okay, so A, B, C, F. Okay. And then, you know, multiple choice, A, B, C, F, D, C, B. And then it's like, oh yeah, model student. It's like, no, Chad fell asleep the entire semester. He just happened to see the grade book and decided, hey, let me ace this exam. And now he's moving on when he really shouldn't be.
I was never slick enough to pull that off. Not that you should. Not that you should. WMSC does not condone
cheating,
pulling moves like that off. But I was never slick enough to. I was clumsy. Still am. So I never. Anyway.
But it works to your benefit now, so don't worry about that.
It does. It's what, being clumsy or not being able to cheat?
Both.
Okay. Sure.
We approve this message.
I'll take it.
WMSC.
I'll take it. I'll take it. But that's, you know, that's that on that. I wish, you know, there's a couple. I don't really even, like, looking through the NJ.com article, I don't really even see any people who were like, yeah, no, we should keep standardized tests. I'm like,
they've always known it's never been really a necessity. Like, my little brother's applying to colleges. Kid's crazy smart. Like, and I'm not just saying that because, like, he could read at the age of 3. Crazy smart. So it's always been like, we all know this. He's a wonder kid. Like, and he's trying to take and he's a good test taker too, obviously. And I was like, you don't need to do this. These colleges will see your transcript. You'll be fine.
Yeah, at this point, like it's cool that, you know, we're at that point. I'm just disappointed it took us this long to land on that. Hold up. Appreciate the pun. Appreciate the pun.
Give it
Next
to me.
Story.
Give it to me.
The student pilot instructor. There's another one from NJ.com. A student pilot who took off from Trenton, New Jersey, landed on the Pennsylvania Turnpike.
NJ.com has been having the heat today.
NJ.com came through last night. This is fun. Now, it's one of those stories that, like, if one thing had gone wrong, this would be horrible, but it didn't, so it's funny.
It's funny. Okay.
Right. A flight student and instructor were forced to make an emergency landing on the Pennsylvania Turnpike Monday during a cross-country flight out of Trenton. The single-engine Cessna 172, better known as the Skyhawk, landed around 6:30 p.m. on the westbound side between Lebanon, Lancaster, and Harrisburg, exits authority said. No one was injured, but the plane was damaged by 2 tractor trailers after it landed on the highway. Whew. Mustang Sally Aviation LLC, who owns the plane, and managing member Keith Furlong said the pilots did a wonderful job in carrying out a textbook emergency landing. I'm just gonna say this.
Teachable moments.
Props to you, pilots. If you could pull that off and still have people saying, "Yeah, no, they did a good job. Like this was the best this could have gone," you know? God bless.
It's giving. Oh dang! Who's that captain? Captain Phillips, who landed the thing in the Hudson?
Sully,
The plane in the
yeah.
Sully.
Yeah.
Whoa! Where did I get Phillips from? It's
I don't
been. You see, my superpower is the art of the. Yeah.
The art of.
The art of. Dot
I'm
ellipses.
familiar with it.
Captain. That's really like. I mean, instead of being a superhero, you kind of just messed up, but it's still okay.
This is
Emergency landings.
Like that's the thing is that like it's just I'll screen share if you're following us on Facebook. Never mind, I can't screen share. Never mind, Facebook.
Too bad y'all can't see it.
You could
check it out
deal.
later.
You could deal. But anyway, there's a picture in the NJ.com article where the plane is on the highway, and it's just like it's so surreal because like the tail is a little messed up, but like it's there's a regular like towing like flatbed trying to pick this plane up off the highway. Like it's just like can you imagine being like the AAA guy or whatever who gets the call, or like Joe's Automotive Repair in Pennsylvania or whatever, who's like,
is there a blanket over it?
Yeah, there's a blanket over the back. I don't know why. Maybe it was cold.
Is the plane cold? You're in my head. Maybe mind reading is your superpower.
I feel like I would be much better at day-to-day like conversation if that was the case, or worse. I don't actually want to read people's minds. As a different story for today.
Imagine having to know everybody's thoughts. Some people think some weird stuff on a regular basis.
Yeah, or like this is what you actually think of me. Like like I don't know if I'm ready to deal with that.
Exactly. I don't want to know. But
back to the plane. This like, could you imagine being like Joe's Auto Repair? Like, yeah, we need you to go pick up a vehicle on the Pennsylvania Turnpike between so and so exit. He's like, yeah, what kind of car is it? And they're like,
car? Question mark.
It's a plane. It's a Cessna 172 or whatever.
He probably thought he was being pranked. Like, it's a knockoff
like,
joke.
nah, you're joking. All right, I'll go out there. It's probably like a Ford Explorer or something. Fine, you're funny. You got me. You got me. And you get out there, it's like, oh.
They weren't kidding. Sharon wasn't joking.
Yeah, that's just, it's wild. And they didn't really add what caused the accident. But, I don't know. How do you guys feel about flying in general? Is it like are you comfortable with it? Or you get like flying anxiety?
How do you feel, Sabrina?
I get a little anxiety in like the beginning of the flight, and then towards the middle, I'm like, okay, we're fine, and then by the end, we're good, and then like the flight back home, I'm like, it's fine, but like in the beginning, I'm just like a little nervous.
I am deathly afraid of heights, right? But I'm also someone who wishes to travel the world, so it's like I don't know if like they're gonna invent like teleportation or something in the meantime, so I don't have to deal with that. But no, I've been on a plane like many times, and I feel like once I knock out, everything's fine because I'm asleep for most of it anyway. So it's fine. It's really fine.
That's fair.
It's the going up part. As long as I don't look down, I think that's what it is. As long as I don't look, then I'm fine.
That's fair.
What about you, Tara?
I get a little bit of anxiety, but nothing like too crazy. What with flying, it's more everything else that gets me anxious, like dealing with people and dealing with airlines and
crying babies,
or like having to pay for like to sit next to somebody. Like that's the new one where they do that thing where they're like, oh, the cheapest seats or whatever, but we assign you a random seat in the section, and if you want to sit next to the person, like, you have to pay an extra fee. Then I get like mad, and then I have to pay money. Matt, our sportscaster, was talking about ears popping. Yeah, that irritates me a lot. When we flew to Texas for the Marconi Awards for WMSC, two of us had colds, and going up and down in that thing with your ears was just like,
Torture.
it was bad. But yeah, we didn't win, but it was still fun to go down there.
Oh, that's an experience though.
It is. It was fun. We got to hang out in Dallas for like 3 seconds.
For 3 seconds, you got to be like, oh no.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, okay, we're out. We're gonna grab some food and back to the conference. Like,
yes,
it's very that, but still worth it though. I don't know. This is not shaking my confidence in flying, especially if pilots getting trained or able to pull stuff like this off.
It's actually safer to be in a plane than a car. Like travel by plane than cars. Statistically, it's just that because like plane accidents don't happen often. That's why every time something happens, you hear about it. So it seems like if everybody crashed a car, like, and you heard about it, you would never want to leave your house. So, they just tell you about plane crashes. But yeah.
So that's absolutely true. They're also like better news stories, I feel like, because like, what stuff like that does happen. But you're right. It is statistically the safest form of travel.
I'm good. You see, I didn't even know it was the safest. I just thought it was safe. You see?
I think it is. I could be lying. I heard I'm gonna full disclosure right now. Last time I heard that was in a movie. So you're on your own to fact check that, people at home. If you're on Facebook, I hate me too. Don't worry. If you're on Facebook, drop it in the comment section. Is flying still statistically the safest form of travel? Or at us at WMSC on Twitter. Let us know. Just be like, yeah, you're right. You're the greatest host ever. Or no, Tara is a dirty liar and just cancel. Let us know. Let us know. You can try to cancel me if you want. Go ahead.
She'll always bounce back.
No, don't do that, because there's some legitimately terrible people that deserve that. Save it for them.
I was gonna be like, she bounces back every time.
I bounce back because I film like a 20-minute monetized apology video of me with fake tears talking to the camera.
The director's
about
like,
how I've learned
lighting.
from this experience. Yeah. About how I never meant to be racist and you should still buy my makeup products. Oops. That's somebody else. I got confused for a second.
She got a little. It's okay,
That's somebody else. Yeah, somebody else. They're a real star though.
Don't
worry about
you.
It. Anyway, before we start getting into beefs with YouTubers, we're gonna take a quick break here on 90.3 WMSC. When we get back,
I'll sell you my makeup.
Jasmine will sell you her makeup, and we're gonna talk about sweaters.
Fun times.
Stay tuned.
Mom, are you eating a yogurt while you're driving? You need both hands on the wheel.
I need to get the most important meal of the day.
Mom, since when do you have a TikTok? How are you making a TikTok while you're driving? You're driving with your knees.
Renegade, we going viral.
Wait, are you getting a tattoo? When did he get in the car?
Hey.
When did he get in here?
This is
There's
Doug.
no outlet.
He's a professional, so it's okay. Doug, we should go out.
Are you on a date? In the car? When did a table get in the back seat?
We've always had this.
We're on the road.
So, you got any kids?
I'm right here.
No.
I can't believe this.
It's not just your life on the line when you're driving with your kids. It's theirs and Doug's. Put the distractions away and keep both eyes on the road.
Every day, across this country, hundreds of college radio stations take to the air, broadcasting music and programming that you won't hear anywhere else.
It's one of the last places where people can really be able to actually say what they want to say.
Without it, you wouldn't have a place for local artists to perform. Certain people need to have a chance, a fighting chance, and college radio is that place for it.
College radio changes the lives of those who are involved with it and can change those who listen to it too.
This is where we start out, from getting all this great experience working in college radio. It makes you want to work in real radio.
College radio means finding yourself. It helped me find what I wanted to do in not only school, but in life.
So support college radio by continuing to listen to this station and supporting the students who make it happen. College radio, now, more than ever. A message brought to you by this station and the College Radio Foundation. For more information, please visit collegeradio.org.
Looking for the real MSU Redhawks experience all year long? Look no further. WMSC has all your Redhawks information, ranging from live play-by-plays, news updates, recaps, and more. Never miss out on the Redhawks with 90.3 WMSC. Let's go, Redhawks.
Hey, you're listening to 90.3 WMSC, Upper Montclair, where music stays cool. Cooler than a dog on a skateboard. Oh, okay, I take that back, but we're still pretty cool.
And we're back. We're back. I didn't bring any makeup samples to show you guys, so unfortunately, I won't be showing you guys any makeup. But we're still going to talk about the sweater, because I feel like that's equally as interesting.
It's a valid subject.
I feel like it's a valid trade-off. So according to band.com/AU, Louis Vuitton, very popular luxury brand, pulls Jamaican sweater. That was so bad. I apologize. I tried. It wasn't
That's all right.
From the online store after using the wrong flag colors. When will these companies learn? Okay.
Let's get into it.
According to the article, the item, which retailed for $1,340 US, this is US dollars, y'all, before being removed from Louis Vuitton's online store, is called the Jamaican Stripe sweater and features 3 stripes in green, yellow, and red. When the item first appeared online, the product description, according to the multiple reports, read, quote, with striped design inspired by Caribbean islands national flag, end quote. However, here's the kicker, y'all. The Jamaican flag is green, yellow, and black. Okay, before I go on my rant, Tara, Sabrina, would you lovely ladies have anything to say?
Sabrina?
I don't understand who didn't fact check. It's just a quick Google image search just to make sure.
You could go on Wikipedia and find that information.
I mean, you could ask someone, hey, what is
ask
the Jamaican
somebody.
flag? It just takes one person to say this is
Someone should have said. Someone doesn't have honest friends is what this is.
Which is what is the problem.
Somebody's like, oh, I'm going to get fired if I tell this person the truth. That's what this is. Also, if you spend $1,340 on what literally looks like a knit sweater with an LV logo on it,
You're a clown.
You stupid.
You're a clown.
You're
I
stupid.
apologize. We love you all here, but you're a clown.
Yeah.
Honk honk. You deserve that because, with these luxury brands, I'm about tired of all of them because I'm tired of everybody. It's like, as a student, right? You know how when you do a paper, you're supposed to do a rough draft, and then you're supposed to do, a second draft, and you hand in that second draft paper because you look for the mistakes. In a company, you have so many levels. I'm not a marketing student, but I know for a fact that you go through at least 5 different trials. So nobody can tell me they didn't know or they got confused, because you need to tell me nobody went on Google to double check this. Nobody. There's nobody who got a Jamaican cousin, uncle, nobody who's Jamaican themselves, nobody got a Jamaican childhood friend to go and tell them that the flag is red. I mean, not red. There's no red in there. Yellow, green, and black.
Mm.
The boss's kid designed it or something, so no one could say anything.
Imagine. It's that princess syndrome.
Yep.
Mommy, I want a sweater that looks like this. Okay, dear. Make my daughter's sweater like the Jamaican flag.
It charge 4 digits for it. It's crazy. Like this is ridiculous. This is like, it's one of those things where like, how does this happen? Like how, like exactly what you said, like how many layers of corporate like bureaucracy had to fail like for this to get through to the market and then get posted on their site as this is a Jamaican heritage thing. Here's that's the other thing, by the way.
There's a white man modeling it. That's my issue.
Of course. You don't think of random white guys when you think of Jamaica?
I mean, I didn't, but I guess maybe I might be wrong because apparently I thought the flag had black in it, but maybe it has red. Who knows? Maybe I'm the idiot, right?
It's almost like this is designed by white people for white people. Because this is stupid. But here's the best part, right? For me. It's when they got called on it, right? Because they got called. This made it all the way to Twitter, right?
Mm-hmm.
Their solution was not to pull the sweater. Their solution was to remove the word flag and swap it with cultural heritage.
So instead of just
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, what does that mean? First of all,
a shame. It's a dang shame. So, you know, even Bob and Rita Marley's daughter, Cedella, she weighed in and she said, Bob says that's the Ethiopian flag. So a part of me feels like they saw the picture of Bob Marley and decided to weigh in using that picture of his outfit. And the whole time they were wrong.
Yeah.
I'm so disappointed. All jokes aside, I'm very disappointed.
I believe it. I'm just honestly, you could have stopped for me at the top of the story with the price tag of this thing.
Like we didn't even need to hear the rest.
No. Like, is this like a thing that people do like regularly? Is this how like rich people like floss? Like this is how they like.
Did you see the Gucci? Was it Gucci? Gucci jeans with like grass stains on them, and they were charging like I think they were charging like a couple $100s for that too, or like leggings with like pre-tears. I'm like, I can go outside and do that for free. Why am I going to go
I could
buy
trip and fall.
Stockings for when you used to wear you wear stockings and they run. It's like why would I go buy it like that when I can just go outside and do that myself and cry about how my stockings ran and now I can't go
right and how now it looks worse.
Exactly.
Like I don't know, like if I ever like had like silly amounts of money, like even on my most like materialistic day, right? Like even if I'm like, in the fantasy of like, oh, I got money, I could buy a nice car, like a fancy car, a sports car, or like even like a house or something like that. Never has it crossed my mind to be like, I need clothing brands that cost way too much on my body right now.
I'd spend it on a really expensive meal before I do that.
Yeah.
That's the kicker. And Tara, I agree. Like at least with cars and houses and things like that, you're gonna use that every day. That sweater is a knitted sweater. It's gonna get thrown out in a month. Like that's also, a knitted sweater.
Can we just talk about what this actually looks like? It looks like a cheap knitted sweater.
It looks like somebody's grandmother's. No shade to grandmas, but it looks like somebody's grandmother sat there and was like, "Here you go, kiddo."
Right, like the LV logo doesn't even look like good. It looks like it's like following. I'm gonna try to share my screen again.
Screen share.
All right, here we go.
Second time's a charm. There we go. look at that. If you're on the radio, too bad, so sad, you missed out. Facebook Live, check that out.
Yeah, Facebook Live. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. Or if you're watching the YouTube later, I applaud you.
You get on Christmas and you're like, thanks.
Exactly, Sabrina. Thanks. Imagine somebody buys this for you.
Like
$1,300.
$1,300 for
Stares
this.
in collective confusion.
Like, all three of us are just like, what on earth? Like, this is like this. I can only imagine like the executive. Like, I'm trying to draw up a picture of the individual, and like all that keeps jumping into my head is extra white, extra tight dude. Like, that's like, and I'm just like,
that sounds like a toothpaste brand.
It does.
Or like jeans.
Yeah, like that's all. Like, I can't see anybody like who. But it's one of those things. Like, no matter how many times you say it, you just like it doesn't start making sense. And let's leave that sweater there.
Yeah, let's
I
leave
would
it where
return
it
that
lays.
sweater.
And if you bought it, return it or give it away to
Uh-huh.
charity because you should be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah,
But
this
moving
is
on.
this last story. Oh boy. Oh boy, this one made the rounds.
Let
This
us
is from
know,
Vi-
Tara. What's
This
going
is from Vice.com.
Oh, Vice. We love Vice.
Vice comes through sometimes. So, this is from a court case in Texas that, they're doing the court cases over Zoom and stuff.
Social distancing.
Lawyer, yeah.
Like we're doing here.
Exactly. Except lawyer Rod Ponton showed up to virtual court in the 394th District of Texas with a kitten filter turned on. I'm gonna share this one with you too, just cause.
Yeah, share that with us as well.
Just cause. His mouth moved, his eyes twitched back and forth, but he was a cat, not a man.
That's scary. What?
Yeah, the eyes are not. I don't know what's up with the eyes right now, but the
I
rest
thought it was
of
gonna
it's
be cute.
Me too. When I read the headline and then I clicked on it, I'm like, oh,
This
a
is
little
this
demon cat.
that cat. It looks like it knows something it shouldn't.
Yeah. And then he's like, Mr. Ponton, I believe your filter turned on in your video settings said the judge. Can you hear me? The attorney said, I can hear you. I think it's
Not
a filter.
the cat Pontons. Oh, yo, okay, real quick, Tara.
Yeah.
Let's describe it for our lovely people who can't see but are hearing.
Okay, imagine a picture of a cat, like a cute kitten, but the eyes got cut out for like one of those paper mask type situations. You know what I mean?
It just
That.
peed on the floor. And
it
got
looks like it
caught.
just peed on the floor. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way.
That's what it looks like. And just two really old confused dudes and a waiver screen that says recording of this hearing is prohibited. Well, too bad.
Too bad.
Now the whole internet knows about it.
The whole world. We're telling you all about it.
Yeah,
and me
sorry.
and Tara's lovely commentary. Me and Tara's lovely commentary as well. It just makes it 10 times better.
Oh, God.
So I want to know, like, what could you possibly have been doing before? But the thing is, I don't blame the lawyer, right? Because it's
Right.
happened where, like, sometimes I'll join I mean, my name is it's like I'll use Zoom for something else. So, like, my nickname is Jazz. So sometimes I'll just have it there. So nothing embarrassing comes up for me. But, like, I know there's people who have, like, really weird Zoom themed parties and they have some crazy names and they
Yeah.
enter class with some wild names. And I'm not going to say the wild names because we are a family-friendly
A
network.
lot of times we can't say the wild names.
Yeah, we're on a family-friendly network, and I sound like we're like a kids channel, but like we're a family-friendly show, and it's so I don't blame him, but I just want to know, like, what were you doing before this meeting?
Yeah, what was the setup? What was the setup for this? And like also like the reactions I think are my favorite part of this because if you could see if you're watching
The judge is not amused.
The judge is not amused. The other attorney is just like
You could
nice,
tell.
nice going. This is gonna be the quickest case. I'm gonna be done before lunch. Like this dude showed up as a cat. We're done here. But the judge is just like, yeah. The
Like a
judge is very
third
much
father.
just The judge is very stern father and is very like, in my courtroom? Like, it's very that face. Exactly, it's very that face. Just like, oh man, that's a bad day at work.
Somebody's stern father from sneaking out past the curfew. That's
Yeah.
exactly what this judge, that's the best descriptors. Like, you watch any coming of age teen film where the father is extremely strict and you're like, I just want to be free, dad. He's like, he's just walking in, he's like,
it's not a phase.
Not a phase, dad.
Like when he's sitting in the dark and he turns on the light, that's the face you see.
Thank you, Sabrina.
Yep.
Yeah.
You hit it on the head. Thank you. That's
exactly
what
it.
looks like.
That's exactly it. And my favorite part about this too is the quote from the attorney, Rod Ponton. After the judge said he thinks it's a filter, the attorney says, "It is, and I don't know how to remove it. I've got my assistant here, and she's trying to remove it, but I'm prepared to go forward with it. I'm here live. I'm not a cat." End quote.
Like Tara said, other attorneys just loving this right now.
The other attorney's just like, well, we're done here. Oh, no, this gets better. He
What's
starts
better?
blaming the secretary. Oh, that was just a mistake by my secretary. He said I was using her computer and for some reason she had the filter on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the secretary had. What was your secretary doing with your computer? Why did she have your computer?
Uh-huh. Yeah, it's totally just blame this random woman. Okay.
You see, this is why you people don't have interns, because they don't. Why? I mean, not interns, secretary, whatever. Why did she have your computer?
Yeah, this is not
unacceptable.
The judge tweeted this out, by the way. Important Zoom tip: if a child used your computer before you joined a virtual hearing, check the Zoom video option to be sure to turn filters off. This kitten just made a formal announcement on a case in 394th. Okay, so the judge broke that rule.
So I guess he has a sense of humor.
Yeah, that title card at the beginning that's like recording is prohibited. The judge put this out there. He was like, I'm going to make you look stupid.
Nobody should hire this man after this.
Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your career, random cat filter lawyer. Have fun getting taken seriously. See, this guy's Twitter is like... Honestly. He's one of those people that just lists things in his bio. Although I list things in my bio, so...
Yeah, but your things are probably interesting things. Like, it's not cat-related things.
No, I don't have any cat-related things. I also don't have a cat.
I want a cat, but cats are bougie to me. Cats are real bougie. I feel like the cat thinks it's better than me, and then I don't want you anymore.
Right. Like, I would rather, like, the relationship, like a dog just be like, you know, following me around and stuff. And I do. He's around here somewhere. He's probably still asleep. Smart dog. Anyway, turn off your filters before you go into
anywhere.
Yeah, just double check that noise before you go in, and that's that on that.
This message has been brought to you by WMSC.
There's a public service announcement. Don't show up to your legal hearing dressed as a cat.
Because you will lose if the judge has no sense of humor.
You will lose in more ways than one.
And you'll be embarrassed on the internet, and then Tara and I will talk about it.
Right. We will.
And probably make you feel worse. But okay, to close us out, we have our other lovely, lovely entertainment news person, Thomas.
Hey,
how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Hanging in.
I'm going to find a cat filter after this.
That makes sense. All right, so I'm going to start off with some music news. In album release news, British pop singer Rita Ora and Kazakh producer Imanbek will be releasing a collaborative EP titled Bang this Friday, February 12th. In the past, Imanbek has collaborated with such big-name artists like Usher and Marshmello, while, and this is no shade, Ora seems to be famous just for being famous. That was a large reason why I picked this EP to be in my segment, because one day I was just, as a kid, hanging out, and then I discovered Rita Ora was just a person that existed and everyone knew her. I don't really know. I don't know any of her music except maybe her 2014 Iggy Azalea track Black Widow. And this is a sentiment that's been shared all over social media on various occasions. But Reportedly, she's working on an upcoming album right now, which to my surprise will actually be her third studio album following her 2012 debut, Aura, and her 2018 sophomore album, Phoenix.
I like how the story is just turning into you discovering that Rita Ora is a human being.
With talent.
I discovered that she has made music. I know she's a human being, but
I'm enjoying this immensely.
There's no release date or title for this alleged third album yet, but in the meantime, this Bang EP with Iman Beck will be coming out this Friday, so many people will be finally able to hear some Rita Ora music for the first time, such as myself. So honestly, I'll probably be checking it out. And for the big news this weekend, as everyone surely knows, and what many might be tired of hearing about already, the big game was this past Sunday, with The Weeknd highlighting the always highly anticipated halftime performance. Donned in his trademark red suit, The Weeknd performed various hit songs spanning his entire career. He performed the track House of Balloons, Glass Table Girls from his 2011 debut mixtape House of Balloons, the tracks The Hills, Can't Feel My Face, and Earned It from his second studio album Beauty Behind the Madness, the tracks Starboy and I Feel It Coming from his third studio album Starboy, and the tracks Save Your Tears and Blinding Lights from his most recent album After Hours. The performance included a wall of backup singers and instrumentalists, a dizzying walk through a house of mirrors, and a final number out on the field alongside dozens of similarly dressed dancers with bandaged heads. The Weeknd also happened to release a greatest hits album prior to his big game performance titled The Highlights on Friday, February 5th. The album compiles some of The Weeknd's most well-known hits from his last three albums, Beauty Behind the Madness, Starboy, and After Hours, the mixtape House of Balloons, his 2018 EP My Dear Melancholy, and his collaborative tracks Love Me Harder with Ariana Grande and Pray For Me with Kendrick Lamar. This is already The Weeknd's second greatest hits album after 2018's The Weeknd in Japan, and is compiled of a total of 18 tracks for a total runtime of just under 78 minutes. Now, did you guys check out his performance at the big game? And I was wondering what your thoughts were on it.
I don't have cable where I am. So I wasn't able, and I don't know how to do the fancy thing where like you log into your like television provider and stuff like that. So I just kind of followed Twitter and saw, and plus I didn't really care for either, no shade, but I didn't really, usually I'll watch it and I'll have like a team that I have favorite, but I literally couldn't care less about either of the teams that were playing.
Same here.
You guys did great though, you know?
Yeah. Except the one that got embarrassed by Tom Brady. You didn't do so great. You let the MAGA guy from Boston embarrass you.
This is why we love Tara. But yeah, no, I didn't watch it, but I did see the House of Mirrors trending because he just looked hella confused. So
I think the WMSC Twitter actually got in on this too.
Yeah, we did. You should check that out.
Huge meme after.
We should, I don't even remember, but I know we did get in on the action. So make sure you check us out on Twitter, to see that.
If you feel like it, we can't tell you to.
Oh yeah, if you feel like it, I highly suggest it because
we are on Twitter.
We have enjoyable content. So if you're ever bored and you're just like scrolling aimlessly.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I didn't watch the halftime show just because I don't think The Weeknd's ready. I still don't think he was. I don't think he's like. I know he's been around, but this is the stage that Prince put up. That
Jackson.
2007.
Yeah.
When Prince won the Super Bowl, when he
it wasn't even the big game. It was literally like a Prince concert, and they were playing like football around.
Yeah, it might as well have been. The big game might not have been there. Prince did it. This is where Beyonce, this is the level
performance.
This is the level we're talking about here. You had people all those people that did it. I don't think The Weeknd's ready. I think if he stays on the path he's on, he will be. But when I heard it was him, I'm like, I guess no one else wanted to do it.
That's what I was gonna say. And also with a lot of the controversy that surrounds the big game, especially in today, cough, cough, Colin Kaepernick, cough, cough.
People are saying no. That's the thing.
People don't want to perform. I wasn't gonna straight out say, but Tara always got me with the, it is what it is. They don't want to.
They don't call me Tara Subtlety Cicchetti for nothing.
Because that's your name, dear.
Middle name Subtlety.
Subtlety, exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So and when I heard he had a greatest hits album,
the second one already.
The second, there's two.
Yeah, the first one was in 2018. It's called The Weekend in Japan.
Okay, never mind. I don't have anything to say. Like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, those are people who are just now getting greatest hits albums. People from the Bad Boys record label are just now getting greatest hits album. And these are people who define, again, we are not trying to downplay. He most definitely makes more money than me. Okay. So I'm not trying to downplay your success. I'm just saying, like, you know, and again, not comparison, but it's comparison English. Wow, Jazz. Comparing. It's just like
maybe you have to.
Prince, Michael Jackson, The Weeknd.
Right.
Bad Boys, The Weeknd.
Don't get me wrong, there's been some
Whitney.
dud halftime shows.
Yeah, there have been.
Like
we
Maroon
should do
5.
like a high.
Maroon 5.
Maroon 5 was a dud.
It wasn't dud.
That was,
I like Maroon
that was just
5.
funny when they performed that year. I just thought it was hilarious.
The Hot Chili Steppers, really? Like, why? For what?
Like
reason?
Adam Levine taking his shirt off, being like, "This is what people want." Like, no, it is not.
It's not. We didn't ask for this.
And now time for
Oh yeah.
favorite
Oh
song,
yeah.
Moves Like Jagger.
Yeah.
Moves like Jagger. No.
Oh yeah. Remember when Travis Scott came out without autotune for like 3 seconds?
It was a shock to the world.
Was that the same year they teased SpongeBob performing the halftime, but they did the intro and then they didn't do Sweet Victory?
I remember that.
Because it was the year Steven Hillenburg died.
I'm so disappointed. That would have been the best halftime show.
For sure.
That's disappointing. Thank you for. I just remembered how pissed I was. Thank you. That wasn't okay.
No.
Not okay at all.
Who do you think should do it going forward?
You, Tara.
Me?
I think I heard she has a pretty sweet like rap rock album, like that nobody knows about.
Yeah.
But I think she could debut it at the halftime show.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. That's a real thing. Can you imagine me trying to rap? I would rather not.
Oh, go ahead.
But I got a couple of names, but do you guys have any that jump to mind who like haven't done it already? Foo Fighters. Amanda.
This is a Foo Fighters stan account, you guys.
No, that was the buzz last semester. All three of us were just like, Green Day did it already, though. That's the thing. They did it with you. They split it with U2 for
But why?
the Hurricane Katrina year.
Why does U2 still a thing? Dang.
I don't know. You know what the difference between Bono and God is?
What?
God doesn't think he's Bono.
Boom cha.
That's good.
Glad you like that. I think Muse would kill it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would take some convincing because the industry doesn't seem to give her a break. But I think Janelle Monáe would kill it.
Yes. With her outfits.
Yeah.
Yes. I just think maybe her music, like if her music was a little. I'm trying to think like an artist right now. I think she's a little controversial, but I think like Cardi B and like Doja Cat, they're rap artists, but those are the people who come to my mind. Like I think they're bringing back really colorful, vivid performances because like, you know, back in the day, music videos and things like that were always super important. Missy, come on, like those were like the standard, and now I feel like they're bringing big flashy performances back. You know, Beyonce's always been doing it, but like I love the big flash. I think they put on a good show.
Mm-hmm. Especially at the halftime show because you're not just entertaining for the people there. You're on camera. You know, much like we are on Facebook on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair.
Yeah. Now, with that being said, thank you, Tara. How do you feel about today?
I feel okay. I'm glad that we talked about music stuff because that's always fun.
Love it. Love it. Shout out to our lovely contributors. Shout out to our very own personal Stephen A. Smith, Matt. Shout out to our news contributor, Sabrina. Shout out to our entertainment news tonight guy. It's not night, it's morning. Why did I just say night? Shout out to our entertainment news vid, Thomas. And shout out to my very, very, very favorite co-host, Tara Subtlety.
Likewise.
And, you know.
And Amanda and Ryan. I almost forgot Ryan's name. Thanks. Almost called him Matt. That's not his name.
And please be on the lookout for Tara's rap rock album. I was very serious about that.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan graduated. Well, you
She
two are like a
needs-
package deal, so like I
mean,
feel
right.
like
You guys come like Twix packs.
yeah, like it's very rare to see one without the other. But yeah, no, thank you so much for coming by. More Morning Buzz tomorrow at 8, and keep it locked on 90.3 WMSC. Thank you so much.
Bye, everyone.